Shit, I think what I want to do.
bought 15 of mine. She was still sitting on it. That was cheap. A while back. That was cheap.
Okay, share the screen. I want to share the screen. Share. Oh.
Anything your wild child does, pamper.
Oh, hey, Daddy. Okay. Okay. Excuse me.
This is right.
Starts at 2. Starts at 2 p.m.
Hey everybody, welcome, welcome.
Hello.
We're so happy to have everybody. We're going to get started in just a minute. We're going to wait for everyone to sign in over here. I see we've got about 36 people on the call. We'll give everyone another few seconds to get signed in and we'll get started. All right, 15 more seconds and we're going to get started. All right, here we go. Good afternoon to everyone. So happy to be here with your brokerage. Very, very pleased to have everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We have lots of great stuff to cover for you today. My name is Ben Schachter. I am one of the co-founders as well as one of the partners here at Total Brokerage Software. We're very, very proud to be working with James Hamby and Southern Classic and all of you. We had a great training yesterday and we will duplicate exactly what we covered yesterday today. So if you were with us yesterday, you're going to hear more of the same information. If you're new and you were not with us yesterday, this will be a brand new session. I do let you know that we do record all of our Zoom trainings. So this is recording, as you can tell from looking at the top left-hand corner of your monitor. You'll see a picture of a little white cloud with a red dot that says recording. So we do record all of our classes so that we can send James a video archive library of all of the classes that he can share with you. It is now just after 2 o'clock on the 10th of December. So this is a live class right now, but of course some people may watch it on replay down in the future. I am going to welcome you all to ask as many questions as you want. I just have a couple of parameters, please. First of all, I'm going to leave everybody muted. You do have the power and authority to unmute yourselves. I'm just going to mute you so there's no background noise and everyone can hear me clearly. I'm going to ask you every 3 to 5 minutes if anyone has questions. And unless it's absolutely urgent that you ask your question at the very second it pops into your mind, if you could be patient with me and maybe just wait till the 3-minute mark, because every 3 minutes I'm going to offer you an opportunity to answer questions. But if you need to ask right this second, raise your hand and I'll call on you. Now, there's about 50 of you on the call and your pictures are teeny tiny. Separate from the teeny tiny pictures, I'm going to be showing my entire monitor. So I'm only going to see about 3 or 4 of you at a time because I'll be looking at my screen. So it's a very good chance that if you're raising your hand outside of those windows when I say, does anyone have questions? There's a really good chance I won't even see you jumping up and down waving at me. I'm not being rude at all. I don't see you because I'm looking at my monitor. Every 3 minutes, I will stop sharing the screen. I'll open it up to everybody so I can see who has questions. So if you have a need to ask a question and I'm not calling on you, please go ahead and unmute yourself and say, hey, Ben, you don't see me, but I got my hand up, and I'll be happy to stop what I'm doing and answer your questions. It's my pleasure. All of you can reach out to me at any time. You'll see my phone number is right here above my head, and I'll give you that information at the end of the Zoom meeting. You'll have my email as well, and we look forward to sharing Total Brokerage with you. Total Brokerage, as the name suggests, is a complete end-to-end platform. Everything is included: CRM, marketing, transaction management, e-signature, cloud storage, communications, calendaring, compliance, and so much more. We have to break it down into little nuggets that are digestible for you. Otherwise, you will drown in all the content, and we don't want to bore you with the education. We want to make it stimulating, interesting, and truly valuable for you. So from 2 o'clock to 3:30 today, 90 minutes, we're going to be covering the CRM and marketing portions of Total Brokerage. CRM, of course, stands for Customer Relationship Management. We're going to talk a lot about that today. We are going to have each one of our different modules broken down to a different class. So today's training is just scratching the surface of all the training you will be receiving to fully understand all the features of Total Brokerage. We do record the classes so you can watch them again, and we have 5-day-per-week support for you as well by telephone, and 7-day-per-week support by email and text message. So even after hours, even on weekends, you can still get help. But if you break down these classes into the little nuggets that are digestible that we prepared for you, I think you're going to do absolutely great. I think you're really going to enjoy it. First of all, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to your awesome broker, James, for selecting Total Brokerage. This is a huge capital expenditure for James to bring this into Southern Classic, and he did it because he's totally committed to the success of the agents. It's 2020. It is almost 2021. You have to have rock solid technology in this business. There's no more of the excuses from 10 years ago. Oh, Ben, that's someone else's generation. I don't do technology. Everybody on the call has an iPhone or an Android. Everybody knows how to text. Everybody knows how to send an email. You can't say I don't use technology anymore and be taken seriously in this business. It's just not possible. James decided to provide you with the most cutting-edge, superior technology tool set available, and you owe him a great bit of gratitude for doing that for you. And of course, I owe him a great bit of gratitude for selecting Total Brokerage. So thank you, James. We appreciate it very much. So I think you're going to enjoy this today. We're going to dive right in. And again, if anyone has questions, I will give you plenty of opportunities, and we will start right now. Any questions before we dive into the software from anybody? Feel free to raise your hand if you have one, and I will gladly call on you because I see all of your smiling faces, except for the 25 black boxes that are in front of me. Those people I can't help. Black box people have to unmute themselves and unblock themselves so I can see their beautiful faces and raise their hands so I can call those. I have no idea. Any questions? Okay. Seeing none, we are going to dive right in. All right. So I'm going to share my screen with you right now. For you to access Total Brokerage, the website you're going to go to is SCR, which is an abbreviation, of course, for your brokerage, Southern Classic Realty, .totalbrokerage.com. I want you all to see that up in the window. SCR.totalbrokerage.com. That's where you have to go. I recommend for my Apple users, the preferred browser to use, web browser, is Safari. For my Android and my IBM users, the preferred browser is Google Chrome. While our software works perfectly well on Internet Explorer and Mozilla Firefox and any number of other browsers, is optimized to work best on Google Chrome as well as Apple Safari. So those are my recommendations. Now, when you type in the address, it seems obvious, quite easy, scr.totalbrokerage.com. Please notice I did not put a www before the website. If you do that, it's going to take you to the wrong place. And see, it says your connection is not private. You're not going to be able to log in. So please don't put www before. SCR.TotalBrokerage.com takes you to the right place. You know you're in the right place because, of course, your beautiful Southern Classic Realtors logo is right here on the top of the page. Now, another thing I have to make you aware of is if you type in Southern Classic Realtors.TotalBrokerage.com, it takes you to a page that looks like this. Boy, that could be confusing because that looks a heck of a lot like James's login page for Total Brokerage. However, it is not the proper login page. If you do not see the SCR logo on the top of the page, you're not going to be able to log in. So make sure when you go there, you're not looking at the Total Brokerage logo because you're on the wrong domain. You're at scr.totalbrokerage.com. And of course, the Southern Classic logo comes up and you're good to go. Now, the very first time you log in, since nobody has a username and password yet, you can't fill that in. You come down here where it says forgot your password. Click here to reset your password, and you will type in your email address and push submit, and we will send you an email that will give you an opportunity to reset your password. Now, you only have 5 minutes to reset your password, so don't start scrambling right now as we're talking and reset your password because the class is an hour and a half. That reset link is going to be dead and unavailable to you in an hour and a half. You have 5 minutes from when you reset your password to use that link to actually reset your password. Some of you have multiple email addresses. Which email address will work? Whatever email address James provided to me for your account. So you guys receive lots of information from James when he emails you. You know if he uses your AOL or your Bell South or your Comcast or your Gmail or your Yahoo. I don't know which email address he uses, but I'm sure you guys do. Please make sure whatever email address James and Southern Classic email you on, that's the email address you utilize. If you want to change your login credentials, that's something you'll have to take up with James to allow us to change your login credentials. Please make sure you use the email address that James uses and has on file for you. And remember, only 5 minutes to reset your password. Once you successfully log in and you get your password so you can actually access the platform, you'll type it in. And we'll go ahead and sign right in. Now you're inside of Total Brokerage. Our platform is mobile responsive, which means you can use it on any device, any iPhone, any Android, any Windows phone, any BlackBerry, any Kindle Fire, any iPad, any Android tablet, any other unique tablet I'm not familiar with, laptops, computers, they all work. Mobile responsive technology means you can use our software on any device. The word responsive relates to the fact that our software will respond to you logging in, and our software will recognize whatever type of electronic device you are using, and the screen resolution will automatically adjust without you having to do anything. So if you want to sign in with your cell phone or sign in with your computer, it knows what type of device you're on, and it adjusts the screen accordingly. You'll never have to pinch, you'll never have to zoom to see anything. Mobile responsive technology is very important for a number of reasons. First of all, James was looking for a product for you that was just as functional for you to be on the road working from a Starbucks or from your car as you are working from your office or from the house. Some of you prefer working on a computer versus a cell phone. Others prefer the ability to be mobile and be on the road with customers all day long. That was really important to James. So he selected Total Brokerage in part because of our mobile responsiveness. You'll never go to the App Store to download an app because we don't have an app. Why do some companies have apps? Some companies have apps because they built their platforms to work on a computer, and they never forecasted that most people in the year 2020 would be accessing websites from a cell phone. Facebook is a perfect example. Facebook is a multi-billion-dollar company. Everybody on this call who uses Facebook knows that Facebook on your computer does not work the same as Facebook on your cell phone. There are different features on the phone than on the computer. You have to learn 2 versions of Facebook if you plan on using it on your computer versus on your cell phone. In fact, the cell version, the mobile version, is watered down. It is stripped of features because they had to shrink the giant website to fit on a cell phone. Total Brokerage is a newer technology. We weren't built 15 years ago like Facebook. We were just built in the past 5 years, and we built our platform on a mobile responsive architecture, which allows the software to adjust itself so you don't have to go to the App Store and use a mobile watered down version of our software. That's a big, big advantage. Plus, it's not taking up any space on your hard drive. Somebody asked me previously, where do we store all this cloud content to make sure it's secure and make sure that we're not going out of business or vanishing? Everything on Total Brokerage is hosted in the Amazon AWS. That stands for Amazon Web Services. So wherever our data is stored is where Amazon operates and stores all their data centers. There is so much backup redundancy and there is so much security. We are in business as long as Amazon is in business. And I'm pretty sure we can all agree that Amazon is not going anywhere anytime soon, especially since the company tripled in value during the pandemic. I actually think Amazon is behind the pandemic. I think that's why we have the pandemic, because their business has gone up by threefold because of it, because everyone's just shopping online all day long. They're the biggest beneficiaries of this. Okay, so let's go back to sharing screen now that we're logged in. Once you get in Total Brokerage, the first thing you're going to recognize is what's called our dashboard. Our dashboard is basically our home screen, okay? Our home screen on Total Brokerage has three major functions to share with you. The first is this colorful rectangle you see here. We call this a statistical reporting widget. We offer you more than 200 different widgets of statistical analysis that you can customize and display on your dashboard. All of the widgets are available to you here under the Actions menu. So when you first log into your account, you're not going to have any statistics because you're logging into an empty, vacant account that has no data. We have to load up your account with data so that you can analyze and use the statistics to the benefit of your business. So here under the Actions menu on the top right, I can click plus add widget, and I can choose what widget do I want to have. I want to know how many contacts I have added into Total Brokerage over the past 90 days, and I want to color that hot pink. Over the past 90 days, I have added a total of 4 contacts into Total Brokerage. I'm also curious to know, by pushing add a widget, I'd like to know what my transaction volume is. My transaction volume is going to be here. I'm going to color that lime green, and I'm going to search for all of my income in my business here. And I'm going to push save, and it's going to show me that I have no business yet because I haven't loaded data in. Now, on the top left-hand corner of each widget, there's a 4-way cross. I can click and drag that cross and reposition the widget from one place to another, and I can shuffle these around. Why am I doing this? Because it gives me the ability to display my information in any manner in which I am comfortable. You have over 200 different widgets. You can display as many or as few widgets on your dashboard as you so desire to ensure that you're having all the information available to you that is interesting and meaningful and helpful to you. So I'm going to put up the 4th widgets there. All these are showing 0 again because it's a brand new account that I just started. I have not put any data in there, which is why it's not reporting anything. The 3-way cross allows me to move things. The pencil, which is on the top right corner of each one of the widgets, allows me to click on it and change the displayed information. I can change the actual color. I can change the name of the widget. I can change the data that's being displayed on the widget. Or if I don't want to see a widget, there's also an X where I can easily X out that widget and hide it. All the statistical reporting is here under the Actions menu, plus add a widget, and then you choose which ones you want. This is so that you have a unique experience when you log into Total Brokerage, and the information that's utmost important to you can readily be available. The second thing you'll see on the dashboard is our calendar. Our calendar here is embedded into the transaction management platform. What does that mean? That means that within Total Brokerage, you're going to use our software to create all of your purchase contracts, your listing agreements, your leases, all of your addendums. Now, you know, when you create a purchase contract, there are numerous dates and deadlines in those documents. You've got the effective date, first deposit, second deposit, mortgage application deadline, mortgage contingency deadline. You've got home inspection deadlines. You've got title report deadlines. You've got the closing date and many other obligations. It is very time consuming to keep track of all those dates that appear in your transactions. But because Total Brokerage is complete and everything is connected together, when you use our platform to create your purchase contracts or your listing agreements or your leases, all of those dates, all of those deadlines that you otherwise have to manually enter in your phone or laptop to keep track of, which is a hot mess, not with our software. When you create that PDF in our software, the software can read the dates that you filled in on that PDF, and then it will plot them on the Total Brokerage calendar for you. So when you have a closing date of January 15th and the buyer says, hey, I'm not going to be able to make it, can you ask the seller if we can extend the closing by 5 days to January 20th? You as an agent can go into Total Brokerage. You can draft that addendum to delay the closing by 5 days. And as you are drafting that addendum to change the closing by 5 days, Total Brokerage's calendar is being updated with that new information. Now, this is incredibly helpful because we sync and we pair with all popular calendar platforms: iPhone calendar, Android calendar, Microsoft Outlook calendar, Yahoo calendar, and several others. That means all the information that's magically appearing in your Total Brokerage calendar is going to automatically download and sync up right with your iPhone or Android calendar. So you don't have to repeat all of that entry of information. It goes on the Total Brokerage calendar, which is set up to connect to your calendar. I will show you how to facilitate that connection so that all of your Total Brokerage appointments, dates, and deadlines will also appear on your personal calendar, assuming you use some sort of a personal calendar. So share screen. We're back here on the Total Brokerage dashboard. And from the dashboard, I notice that my name is up here in the top right-hand corner. I take my name, I click on it, I click on my profile. When I scroll down, it opens up the profile portion of Total Brokerage, and there's a lot of great information there. That has all of the back-end setting information for the platform. And what I'm dealing with right now is an issue pertaining to the calendar feed link. If I click the question mark, it says, what is this for? It tells me what the purpose is of that calendar feed link. And I click it, and it gives me instructions, whether I'm an Apple laptop user, an iPhone user, an Android user, or an Outlook user, and so on and so forth. It gives me that information so that I can set up that synchronization. So let's go back and do a quick recap. From the dashboard, I see there's a calendar with no information. I can go to the name on the top right and click on my profile, which I just done. From here, whoops, I logged out. See what happens when you click the wrong button? Beg your pardon. Forgive me. I click on my name, I click on my profile. It opens up the back end of Total Brokerage. I look for the word calendar because we're addressing a calendar related issue here. And it says click the question mark button for more details. And now I can follow the step-by-step outline of what's available to me to set up that synchronization with all of that information. Super valuable, very beneficial, and highly efficient as an agent because there's so many dates and numerous transactions, and this ensures that I stay on task. It also has the ability to update with reminders and alerts that can be sent by text or email to notify all concerned parties of a critical change in date in your transaction. I'm going to go ahead and unshare the screen right now and ask if anyone has any questions. Now would be a perfect time to ask them. Any questions whatsoever that anyone may have? Yes, Deandra.
So if,
Welcome.
thank you. If we switch from our Android phone to an iPhone, do we have to do anything special in Total Brokerage?
Yes, when you get that new phone, you'll click on your name, then you'll click on my profile, and then you'll follow the Android settings to import that calendar into your new Android.
Gotcha. Okay.
Now, if you are a current iPhone user and you're using the Apple Cloud and you're using an iPad, an iPhone, an Apple Watch, a MacBook Pro, you do not have to set up that synchronization with Total Brokerage in all 4 of your Apple devices because those devices are already synced up. You only have to add that mapping or that connection to the Apple products, just one Apple product. Because if you connect it just to your iPhone, it's going to permeate and carry across to the Apple laptop and the Apple tablet and so on and so forth. Same thing with Android. If you're a Google user and you have Gmail on your computer and you have Gmail on your tablet and your phone, just pick one device to set up that synchronization for, and you'll never have to worry about it ever again. It's consistent. Okay, does that help you, Deandra? Yes? Okay, good, great. Any other questions, folks? Guys, I didn't do that good of a job. I'm sure someone's got a question. I talk fast. I'm from New York. All right. You're giving the New York boy a pass. I appreciate that. Thank you. All right. Let me go ahead and share screen again. The next thing you'll see on the home screen, which is the dashboard after the statistical reporting widgets and after the calendar, is the daily to-do list. The daily to-do list is recurring reminders of processes that you've established for yourself. A great example of a to-do list would be McDonald's or Burger King. It doesn't matter if you go to Athens or Atlanta or Kentucky or Tokyo or New York or Calgary or Venezuela. You will get the same hamburger and french fries in all those locations. Why? Because they have an action plan. They have a procedure that tells them exactly what type of meat to use, what type of bread, 2 pickles, 1 slice of tomato, 1.2 ounces of mayonnaise, and they tell them how long to put in the oven for, so that it comes out exactly the same all over the world, no matter where you go. We offer that feature in Total Brokerage as well. Why? Because so many of our customers like to provide consistent service. So a great example with that would be a potential seller. If you take a listing, I'm sure each one of you has some sort of a mental process that you follow of what steps need to be done. Step 1, sign the listing agreement. Step 2, order yard signs. Step 3, schedule a broker's open. Schedule 4, schedule an open house. Step 5, bring in a stager if there's no furniture. Step 6, double check your comps. Step 20, if this property has not sold within 60 days, pursue the seller to give you a substantial price decrease. So whatever processes you use, that's up to you. I'm not here to tell you how to run your business. I'm here to give you a kitchen with better pots and pans and better ingredients. You're still the chef. You still decide what you want to cook, what you want to make, and how you want it to taste. I'm just trying to upgrade your game of tools thanks to James and his selection of Total Brokerage. So how do you manipulate the daily to-do list to give yourself the opportunity to use those processes that'll pop up here and remind you it needs to be done? On the left-hand side of the screen, you'll see it says the word setup. Setup is our menu. Under setup, we have something called action plans. Action plans are just that. They are processes that you can establish by going to Actions, New Action Plan, to have consistency. And by filling in these action plans, you're going to have these recurring reminders for every buyer, every seller, every landlord, every tenant, every investor, every follow-up person that you need to get in touch with. There's a whole separate section of this lesson today that masters and focuses on CRM. The software will send out automated alerts to your customer for you. This is not automated alerts to your customer. These are notifications for you as to what you want to be doing and what you need to remember to have done to provide a superior experience as an agent versus any other agent for that matter. Any questions at all about the action plans that I can answer for everybody? No questions? Everyone feels good? I'm just scanning through all my audience here. Okay. Terrific. So we will move on. So that is everything you need to know in the basic entry page of Total Brokerage, which again is called the dashboard. The last thing I'll show you before we navigate to the CRM is what this looks like on mobile. What happens if I use my iPhone or Android to log into Total Brokerage? This is what happens. It shrinks down to a 4-inch iPhone screen. The resolution changes, but it's still fully functional. You still have access to the entire platform. The only difference being that when you're in the mobile version, that big menu that was here in black and yellow on the left-hand side, if you go to the menu button, you'll notice that it's been shrunken down or reduced. So here is the menu button, top of the page right there. Why? Because it now has to fit a 4-inch screen as opposed to a 17, 18-inch monitor. So you have access to the entire platform from any device that is convenient for you. That's mobile responsiveness. Okay, any questions? Questions? Okay, seeing none, let's go ahead and share screen. All right, so on the left-hand side is our menu with all of our options. We clicked on dashboard first, that's where we logged in. The next page is CRM. CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management, the key word being relationship. It's not called Customer Drive Me Crazy Management. It's not called Customer You Got a Listing and I Don't Give a Damn Management. It's not called Customer Stop Bragging About Yourself and Tooting Your Horn All Day Long Management. Customer Relationship Management. The National Association of Realtors tells us that between 94 and 95% of all transactions nationwide that existed involving a realtor, the realtor met that customer through an introduction, a warm referral, or their network. 94 to 95% of customers did not connect with their realtor through advertising. They connected from somebody who used a CRM to maintain and build a stronger relationship with that person. It's very, very, very important. I can't say it enough. Advertising is not where you want to spend all your efforts exclusively. There is a place for advertising, but 95% of your efforts should be focused where 95% of your customers will come from to get the best return on investment. So on the left-hand side, we click on CRM first. When I click on CRM, Customer Relationship Management, I get a drop-down series. I click under CRM, the first button, which is View Contacts. In this particular platform, as you can see here on the bottom of the page, I have 4 customers right now in the platform. Each one of those customers is potential buyer or seller looking for property, and I'm going to use the CRM to manage my relationship with those individuals, okay? Any questions about anything I've shown you thus far? Questions, anybody? Okay, I do not see any questions. So let's go back to share screen. Let's continue on. Perfect. Okay, so now I want to create a contact in my CRM. On the left-hand side, View Contacts allows me to see my address book, which currently consists of only 4. I have another TotalBrokerage account that has thousands and thousands of contacts. You can have whatever you need installed in here. This TotalBrokerage account shows you, when I push View Contacts, how many I have in total. And I have 2,339 customers in this particular database because I have a variety of demonstration accounts. Okay. I want to add a customer. Under View Contacts, I push plus add a contact. When I push plus add a contact, I'm going to log in. And when I log in, it allows me to do so. CRM, add a contact. Okay. This particular customer's name is going to be Dora the Explorer. Okay, that's her name. I'm going to give her a phone number and an email address. Okay, so now she's got a name, phone number, and email address. I'm going to push save. Okay, now in this particular record, once I push save, I notice a whole series of tabs have come up on the top of the page that were not there previously. It also says down here, your changes will be saved automatically. So after you push save the first time, the software then converts to an auto save feature in the future. So you only push the save once and you never have to push it ever again because the software will automatically save itself. Now, I think most of you are capable of reading the fields that you see listed here, but I do want to bring to your attention that you can add in multiple email addresses and you can also add in multiple phone numbers for this person. Why? Because you never know the type of relationship they're going to have, whether they allow calls at work, whether you have to call them at home, whether they're trying to surprise their wife for Christmas with a new home. They don't want you calling the house because they want to surprise their wife. Anything could happen. But you can prioritize because right here you'll notice that when I choose where there's multiple contact information, I can set as primary the one that I want on top, and it adjusts it to the top. That way, when I'm sending out emails or making calls from the software, it's ensuring that it's only calling the number that the customer wants. Now, if the customer doesn't care, then you shouldn't care. But if the customer does care and says, hey, don't ever call me in my office, you have to respect that. You don't want to get yourself into trouble, okay? Our software has one click to call feature and one click to email feature and one click to text feature. You can see these buttons are all clickable. Even if I was to shrink this back down to a very, very small cell phone size, I'll see on mobile, these buttons are all clickable. I don't need to copy and paste the phone number from here into my dial pad of my cell phone. It is automatic for me, and it's going to save me a ton of time and make me vastly more efficient, especially if you're using the platform frequently to solicit your customers, okay? Next thing I'm going to share with you is tagging. Tagging in some CRMs is called labeling or grouping. Tagging is a feature that allows you to cluster your customer with other people that have similar concerns, similar issues, or similar interests. Yesterday, one of the chosen tags that we used was UGA, because we know a lot of people in Georgia are Bulldog fans, right? So we have a UGA group within our subdirectory. However, I don't have to only have the UGA group, right? This guy likes windsurfing. So I can type that in. Now that's not already in my isolated contact list. I'm going to add windsurfing as one of my chosen features. This guy also likes rabbit hunting. That's also not pre-templated in. So I'm going to add rabbit hunting. And he happens to be an investor. That is templated in. So we give you the ability to customize your tags any way you see fit. These tags are unique on an Asian by Asian basis. So James is not setting up this tag for the entire company. You are setting up your own tags for your own people. You've got Spanish customers, you've got Greek customers, you've got old customers, you've got young customers, you've got customers like sports, customers that like to stay home that are introverted. You can isolate them into these groups. Why is that important? Because if you're going to solicit and market yourself to them, you want to solicit and market properly. If someone had a near-death drowning experience and was terrified of the water, I'm not going to send him articles on windsurfing and how we can get certified for windsurfing in Georgia. It's just not a good way to maintain a relationship. So the software enables you to maintain a higher quality level of professionalism with your audience. Let me see if anyone has any questions. Okay, screen sharing has stopped. Please feel free to ask your questions if you have any.
Hello.
Any questions? I heard somebody making a sound. Yes, Beth, please, Beth.
Hello.
There we go. Okay. So my question is probably kind of goofy, but
No questions, Goofy. Please ask away.
so I'm always in a hurry. And so since we don't have an app, which is kind of good because I really hate apps, but if I go to Safari, is there a way to pre-put this in my cell phone so that I don't have to be?
Thank you for asking that question. For my Safari users, go to Safari. For my Chrome users, go to Chrome and visit the website scr.totalbrokerage.com. And when it comes up with your company's logo, go ahead and save that website to the desktop of your phone. For my Android users, on the top right-hand corner of your Android phone, there should be 3 dots or 3 bars, and you can click on that and you can save that website right to the desktop of your Android phone. For my iPhone
I don't know
users,
how to do that. I'm a Safari user. I've got the
close the
total.
Android. Safari's next. If you're going to Safari users, you're going to go to the bottom of the phone, the bottom of the glass, and you're going to look for either 3 dots or 3 hashes, and you're going to click that and save it to your desktop. There's a menu button on Safari. Anytime you're on a website on your cell phone, if you love that website, whatever it is, you can save it on the desktop of your cell phone. Safari Save button is on the very bottom of the screen under the Options menu. And for Android, it's at the top of the screen under the Options menu. And that's how you would save the website. And then for you, Beth, it will operate exactly like an app you're familiar with from the App Store, because it's going to save an icon for Total Brokerage right on your cell phone that you can click on and it launches right up. Do you understand?
Yeah, but it's not, I'm not getting the little dots that you told me about.
Okay, so let me take out my iPhone for you in front of me. I'm going to go to Safari myself. Just bear with me here, please, one moment. Okay, I'm opening up Safari. And I'm going to open it up, which I have to log in now. I have a password. And I am looking at Safari. On the bottom of the screen, there's a blue square with an arrow pointing up.
Yeah.
Click that and then scroll up on the menu and click on Add to Home Screen. And got it, Beth? Perfect. Thank you, Beth. Good question. Okay, anybody else have a question about where we are so far? Nobody else? Okay. Let's go back into share screen.
I've got a question.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you for announcing yourself, whoever did that, but I don't know your name.
Tim.
Tim, go right ahead, please.
When I type in that SCR Total Brokerage, it says cannot open the page. The server cannot be found.
Tim, it's scr.totalbrokerage.com.
I missed the very first part, and I was just trying to look at it on your screen there.
No problem. scr.totalbrokerage.com. Okay.
Gotcha. Thanks.
My pleasure. Anybody else? Okay. Thank you, Tim. Let me go ahead and share my screen again. So we understand the tagging process. The tags are unique on an agent by agent basis. I think everything else you could pretty much read and figure out other than lead source. Lead source is one of my favorite features. Where did the lead come from? Was it a friend? Was it a relative? Was it a walk into the office? Was it a call-in? Was it Zillow, Facebook, LinkedIn? If the lead came from the World Wide Web, either social media or a website, then it seems to me that it'd be way more efficient if you had the leads flow directly from wherever they originated right into Total Brokerage. Could you raise your hand for me if you've ever in your lifetime gotten a lead, whether it's good or bad, I don't care, from either Zillow or Realtor.com, ever in your lifetime? Okay, just about every hand goes up. Now, the way you've gotten those leads is they've come to you via email in most cases. Sometimes Zillow will call you on the phone and sell you a lead verbally, but more often than not, they will email you a lead. It'll be in your inbox. If you get a lead from Zillow or Realtor.com or Facebook or anybody else for that matter, if it's in your email, you have to then take all the contact information for that person and then copy and paste it into Total Brokerage to create a contact. Seems a little impractical. You can set up a direct link between Zillow, Facebook, LinkedIn, Google+, the Athens newspaper, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, wherever you get your online leads from, where they can flow directly into Total Brokerage. And Total Brokerage will read all of the contact information that comes with that lead and will fill out one of these general tabs so you don't have to copy and paste and retype all this information directly in. How do you set up the flow so that your leads from other third-party sources can go right to Total Brokerage? You can go to your name at the top of the page where my profile is. This is the same place previously that you had the calendar feed link. And the new thing you'll notice is there's something called contact email capture address. And you've got this helpful subtext. If someone emails you at this address, it will automatically create a contact record for them and capture the full back and forth conversation. That is awesome. So you can go to Zillow, you can go to Facebook, you can go to LinkedIn, you can go to Google+, and you can use this unique email address, which is your first name dot your last name at scr.totalbrokerage.com. And you can tell those third-party lead sources, please email any leads you send me to this new Total Brokerage email address. Total Brokerage will receive those emails. We'll strip out all the contact information for you. We'll then fill in a contact record that looks just like the one in front of you. And then Total Brokerage will email or text you letting you know, congratulations, Deandra, congratulations, Coles, congratulations, Beth. Zillow just sent you a lead whose name is Dora the Explorer, and it just popped into Total Brokerage. Go ahead and make contact. So that's a pretty cool feature. Where is that found once again? That is found under your name, under my profile on the top right, and then use the contact email capture address that's right here. That is your new inbox for lead capture from any third parties that send you online leads. This is going to be very helpful also if you happen to be spending money buying leads, because you want to know if you're spending your money getting a good return on investment. It tracks it for you. If you have your own website, Kara Rose, sellshouses.com, Donnie Morgan, the realtor.com, Kit Basma, lovesgeorgia.com. If you have your own website, you're getting your own leads from your website in email format. Instead of having them emailed to you personally, have them sent to your Total Brokerage address book. Right now, when a customer calls you on the phone and they're a brand new customer, you've never dealt with them before, you always say, could you please repeat your name for me so I can write it down? And then you look at your phone, you make sure they're saved in caller ID, and then after the phone call, you save that number in caller ID with their name so you can call them later. Wouldn't it be awesome if your cell phone knew the name of the person calling you, even if they weren't in your address book, and if your cell phone saved their name and saved their phone number and saved their email address all into your contacts right after your call without you having to do anything? Wouldn't that be a great time saver and a convenience? Well, that's what we can do by using Total Brokerage. Anytime a lead comes in from a third-party portal, we'll strip out the contact information and instantaneously save it for you in your contact record. You just have to make sure you use that special contact email address for your new distribution and receipt of leads, as opposed to your current email that you're receiving those leads at. Any questions pertaining to that issue? Any hands? Looking for hands, seeing no hands. Man, I'm going to give myself a raise. I'm doing a really good job. No one's got questions, or you're sleeping on me, one or the other. Hopefully I'm doing a good job. Okay, cool. Let's keep going. Share screen. Now, back into our leads, back into our CRM, back into our view contacts. So now I've got 5 contacts in here, including Dora the Explorer. I am going to add a new contact, and the contact's name is going to be James Hanby. This is just an experiment. Add a contact, and the contact's name is James Hanby. Okay. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What is that yellow warning that popped up? This contact may be similar or identical to multiple other contacts. Please consult Sandy Fulton and James Hanby. There are 2 other realtors at Southern Classic, one by the name of Sandy, some of you know, and one by the name of James, who all of you know. And both of them are working with a customer by the name of James Hanby. The software is set to cross-reference every Southern Classic agent's mailbox to see if any 2 of you or more are simultaneously working with the same customer. We cross-reference first name, last name, email address, and phone number. Now, why is it yellow warning? We all know that yellow means caution. Yellow doesn't mean stop. If you're a crazy driver like me, yellow means speed the hell up and cross that traffic light before it turns red. Yellow means warning, be careful. Why are we warning you? Well, Beth is about to spend her entire weekend showing 19 properties to this lovely couple that's moving from Atlanta to Athens. And Beth has put in all this time helping them get pre-qualified, helping them schedule to see properties. She's already mapped out where she's treating them to lunch. She goes and saves these people's names into TotalBrokerage, and she says, oh my gosh, John Johnson has been working with these people for 3 months. He's already shown them 71 properties and written 4 offers for them. This smells fishy to me. He's another Southern Classic agent. Now, when you get a warning, it's up to you what you want to do with that warning. If Beth is as smart as I think she is, she's going to go to the company phone directory. She's going to call John Johnson, who she probably doesn't even know, but he works at Southern Classic. And she's going to say, hey, John, this is Beth over here. I know we don't know each other, but we both work at Southern Classic. I'm about to take out this customer to see 19 properties, treat him to lunch, burn up 3 tanks of gas, miss my daughter's piano recital because I'm going to skip it this weekend to show property. What's the scoop with these people? Now, if John says, well, tell me about your customer. And she says, well, my guy's name is James Hanby. He's 52 years old. He's got a white beard and no hair. And John's going to say, well, that's not my James Hanby. My James Hanby is 22 years old. He's a graduate student at the University of Georgia. He's preparing to go to law school, and he has a full head of hair. So I guess there's 2 James Hanbys on planet Earth. So I guess there's no problem. But what happens if you both discover you're both working with the same James Hanby? I'm going to teach you about this radical new real estate term I learned. Are you ready for this real estate term? It's called adulting. Being and behaving like adults. Very hard for most realtors. Most realtors are more familiar with childing or kidding. I prefer adulting. Hey, John. Hey, Beth. What can we work out with this customer? Because it looks like we're both working with the same person. Well, John says, you know, my James Hanby is fluent in Spanish and I don't speak Spanish. So I'm not surprised he's out there looking for another agent, Beth, because you speak fluent Spanish. And I've had a lot of communication issues with him. Plus, 2 of our appointments, I had to cancel last minute because my dog has a bad leg and I had to take my dog to the vet. So he's kind of pissed at me because I missed 2 of our appointments and I don't speak Spanish. Oh, well, that would be a logical reason that this customer, James Hanby, is out there cheating on you, John, looking for another agent. Conversely, what if John says, Beth, there is no chance my customer, James Hanby, is buying a house with you. Do you know why he's going out this weekend with you? Because I told him I'm going out of town for my daughter's wedding and I'll be out of town this weekend. And there's no chance he's going to work with you because he already signed a buyer broker contract with me. He's just using you to waste time to find properties that I'm going to ultimately show him and sell him down the road. And Beth's going to say, thank you so much for telling me that, John. I don't want to get taken advantage of. It's called adulting. You act like adults and you talk to your coworker about who's sneaking around behind their back, and you have a conversation like adults as to how you can resolve this. I'm sure the real James Hanby, your broker boss over here, doesn't want to be dragged into a fist fight between Beth and John who are fighting over this customer. That's why we have these conversations. Now, some people ask this ridiculous question. Ben, I don't like that feature. I want to turn it off. I do not want to get warned. I do not want to notice. You know, It's interesting you have that perspective when we're talking about adulting, because I came home from a long day of work last Tuesday, and when I went up to my house, my wife was downstairs making dinner, and I went up to the bedroom to go shower and change like I do every day since COVID started, and I found a pair of men's underwear that was not mine on the floor next to our bed, and a bottle of beer and some cologne, and none of it was mine, right next to our bed. So I had a choice. I could be an adult and I could question my wife why there was men's underwear and a beer and cologne next to the bed and what that was all about. Or I could say, I don't want to stir up the hornet's nest. I don't want any problems. I just want the chicken that she made for dinner. So I'll just throw out the beer and the underwear and I won't even ask her any questions because I don't want to fight. You have a choice, right? You could do that if you want. Adulting. It's a radical idea. Let's try having conversations like adults and figure things out before the you-know-what hits the fan. Any questions about my wife? Excuse me, any questions about Total Brokerage? I'm glad you guys have a sense of humor. Questions? The answer is no, you cannot shut that feature off. It is there to protect you and to protect James from customers stabbing you all in the back. Have a conversation. I see Cole's hands up. Cole, you look like your face is all dark. I can't see you, but go ahead and ask a question, Cole.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
I want to know whose underwear and beer it was.
When I find out, I'm going to kill him. I'll tell you. Don't worry. You know what's funny when I tell that joke? Only the women find it amusing. None of the men like that story at all. All the women always crack up and the men are like, man, that's a rough story, man. That's terrible. I really feel for you, dude. I don't know what I would do. I'd probably just kick it under the bed because that chicken smells really good. I don't think I'd want to miss dinner that night. Okay, back to screen share. Okay, so we understand the purpose of the CRM. We understand. Oh, is there more questions? Cole,
Yes.
anything else? Yes, go ahead, please.
Please. Is that automatically turned on or is that something we have to turn on?
It is 24/7 turned on, not possible to turn off. It's always on.
Okay. Thank you.
You got it. You got it. Okay, so we notice there's lots of other tabs that we can go through. And we can use this information. I am not going to insult a group of highly intelligent people that we're talking to over here, because you can obviously read what all these fields are, but I want to explain the subheadings, okay? Preferences is where you're going to enter in what the customer is looking to buy or what the customer is looking to sell, because you may catch up with that customer today and he might say, hey, you know, I'll be looking for a house February, March. It's a little premature right now with the holidays. So you want to keep track in the preferences field of what the customer is looking to buy or what the customer is looking to sell. Fill that in. The details tab. The details tab allows you to keep track of intimate information. You can keep track of anything you want. In fact, these fields are editable. If you want to keep track of their favorite football team, if you want to keep track of their favorite Chinese delivery restaurant for Chinese takeout food, you can keep track of those things. All these fields can be customized to your business. Okay. Activity tab. Activity tab is one of my favorites. The activity tab is where you keep track of all the activities that you do for this customer. So for example, I met this customer today in CVS buying chips, and she said she may want to look for a house next March, middle of the month. Now remember, you can do all of this right on your cell phone. It can be done right on your cell phone, right over here. Okay, and you're going to save that information in the Dora the Explorer file. Now, how are you going to remember to call her in March? I'm guessing that I'm going to click on Add to Calendar, and I'm going to set a reminder to call her in the middle of March. So this pops up on March 15th at 4:30 in the afternoon with a reminder, so I don't forget to call her. I do want to be reminded about this 2 days before, so I can re-review all my notes and familiarize myself with whatever we discussed. I'm going to push save. This has now been added to my Total Brokerage calendar for the month of March. And because my Total Brokerage calendar is synced up with my iPhone calendar, it's not only on my Total Brokerage calendar, it's showing on my iPhone, my Android, my Microsoft Outlook, my Yahoo, and any other calendar that I've set up that link. There is no excuse to miss this customer in the middle of March when she's ready to talk about the prospect of buying her house. Now, what other things might you put in the activity tab besides just a note concerning your conversation? Betty Smith from Remax showed the house today to her California buyers They did not like that there was no pool at a small yard. Great place to put notes concerning your showings and feedback, right? How about this one of my favorites. This listing really sucks. I sat in the living room for 5 damn hours while the customer was camping in Tennessee to wait for the freaking AC to get fixed. I want to shoot myself. Why does that matter? Why would you possibly keep track of something like that? Well, here's an idea. On your calendar, we keep track of every single thing you do and everything you enter in. Have any of you ever had a listing that was coming close to expiring and you had to ask the seller for a listing extension? Have any of you ever had a listing that was overpriced and you got feedback from lots of agents about the overpriced listing and you had to ask for a price reduction? Newsflash, those are not fun conversations to have with your seller. I mispriced the home. I need you to drop it. I didn't get the job done in the 6 months for the listing agreement. I need more time. You're saying you failed. That's what you're telling them. I failed. I mispriced the house. I need more time. Wouldn't it be a great idea to keep track in the activity tab of every single thing you did right, as opposed to the things you did wrong, so that when you have to go ask for a listing extension or a price reduction or any other type of a favor, you can show the customer all the things you've done for them, like the 5 hours you sat there waiting for the AC guy to come fix the AC. I think that's kind of important, because you and I don't get a salary, do we? We all get paid on commission. If that doesn't close, we get nothing. So, Mrs. Johnson, I am so sorry I didn't get your home sold in the 6 months we had it listed. And I understand you're frustrated. But Mrs. Johnson, I don't think you're going to have better luck with Coldwell Banker or Keller Williams. And let me pull up my activity tab with the corresponding calendar. Mrs. Johnson, are you aware that even though I didn't sell your house, that I invested 127.2 hours into marketing, selling, babysitting, property managing, servicing, cleaning up, and attending to your home? Do you know I didn't get paid for that 127 hours? So I don't think it's a big ask if you'd be kind enough to please consider dropping the price $5,000 and giving me another 90 days. And because I have total brokerage provided to me by James, I am able to document every ridiculous, absurd thing that I've done, like make your bed 3 times because it shows crappy when the bed's not made, like emptying your dishwasher because it was all full, like cleaning the dead frogs out of the pool in the back, like sweeping up all those weeds and leaves in the front yard to make it show nicer. That's not my job. I'm not a property manager, but that's what I did because I'm a better realtor. You're not going to get that from me, Max or Keller Williams. You're going to get that from me. So please give me the extra 90 days. I'd really appreciate it. Now, some of you are looking at me like an alien. I've been a broker for 25 years. When I sold my company, I had 1,500 agents and 22 offices. I know this business inside and out. I put up with the same crap that you guys have to put up with every single day. I am on your side. That's why I'm so good at this software, because I used it in my business and I used it to build my business. So I'm here to help you utilize the software to the best of your ability to make your business as profitable as possible. Any questions? No? Monica, is your hand up? You're just petting your dog. No? Petting your dog. Okay. You forget you're on Zoom sometimes, right? That's why everyone else has all their windows blacked out, so I don't see their dogs walking across the. You let your dog on the couch like that? My dog's not on the couch. I have a German Shepherd that she'll tear up the couch. I can't let her on the couch. I'm just teasing. Okay, let's go back to the screen share again. Okay, so we understand all the tabs are here. Email. You can send emails to your customer right through Total Brokerage. You can compose a message right here in the platform, and you can send it directly here from within Total Brokerage. I am still in the Dora the Explorer file. Dear Dora, call you in March, and we'll discuss your home search then. Thanks, Ben. Okay, now when I send this email, okay, it's going to get sent to Dora's email address, which is right here, dora@nickelodeon.com, and she'll receive that email. Is that going to show in your personal email box when you send it? Not yet, but it will show. Not yet, but it will show. When you send her that email, it's only going to show in the Total Brokerage send log, because right now that email is coming through your Total Brokerage profile. However, when Dora responds to that message is going to go back to 2 places. It's going to go back into Total Brokerage, into your inbox, and it's going to go back into your personal email account. So you do not have to check Total Brokerage for incoming new messages. If you send from Total Brokerage, the replies back will come back to your regular email account as well as Total Brokerage, which is awesome because if your Gmail account looks anything like my Gmail account, it looks like a freaking bag of Skittles exploded with all those rainbow colored dots everywhere and nothing makes any darn sense. Total Brokerage organizes your emails because from each one of your customers' files, each one of your customers, like Donald Duck, has his own inbox, and all of your incoming and outgoing messages to and from Donald are going to be isolated in one place. Boy, that's nice and easy. Wow, what a great concept. Organize my email for me. If you choose to originate an email out of your Gmail, your Yahoo, your Comcast, your Bell South, any other email that you use, and you want to send it to Dora from your regular email, not from Total Brokerage, you can do that. However, if you wish to have the emails looped back into Total Brokerage for compliance, storage, and record keeping purposes, rather than you email Dora at Nickelodeon.com, go back to that email tab, which is right here. And on the email tab, you'll notice that not only can you email her from here to Dora at Nickelodeon, but we give you something called a contact email capture address. You see what we've done here with Dora at Nickelodeon.com? We've restructured it to make it Total Brokerage friendly. Dora plus Nickelodeon.com at scr.totalbrokerage.com. So what are you going to do with this? You're going to go to your Gmail, your AOL, your Comcast, your Yahoo, and instead of emailing Dora at Nickelodeon, you're going to email her at doraplusnickelodeon.com and scr.totalbrokerage.com. She is going to receive that in her inbox at Dora at Nickelodeon. She's not going to know what tricky method you used to send it. This is where she's going to receive it. But what you're doing is you're notifying the Nickelodeon email to carbon copy all of the thread of communications between you and Dora back into Total Brokerage. So you can take this and you can paste it into your AOL, your Bell South, your Comcast, and send that to Dora just one time, not every time, just once. And the entire conversation thread between you and Dora is now going to live in two places. It's going to continue to live in your Gmail, your AOL, where you started it from, but it's also going to be duplicated in Total Brokerage. Very, very, very helpful. Certainly a major, major benefit. A lot of you have that issue with text messages, right? You send a text message out of your phone, but then you try to print the text message or you try to email the text message. And there's not just like a super easy, efficient way to do that. It's kind of a pain in the butt. Wouldn't it be awesome if every time you texted a customer, it cataloged all those text messages and put them into the customer file with the purchase contract and the listing agreement and the addendums and the disclosures so you had a running record? That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to connect all of your tech so that everything is in one place. So when you have to look up what's happening with Dora the Explorer, there's one place to go and everything is there. Texts, emails, contracts, listing agreements, everything in one place. Questions? No? Deandra?
So if there are related emails that go with that contact, the lender, the closing attorney, the agent on the other side, that kind of, can we batch emails to that contact?
I understand your question. I got it. So anything between you and Dora the Explorer is going to automatically loop into Total Brokerage if you either A, originate the conversation in Total Brokerage, or B, originate the conversation in your outside email account, but you use that funny Dora plus Nickelodeon at SCR email address. However, if Dora's got a mortgage broker, Wells Fargo, and you want that email from Wells Fargo to go into Dora's file, you would just take the last email between you and Wells Fargo, and you would just forward it to Dora plus Nickelodeon at SCR, because then it will loop in that thread at that time. The lender's email from Wells Fargo, Jimmy the appraiser, his stuff's not going to be looped in. You just take that email from your Gmail or Yahoo, wherever you're communicating with them, and forward it to Dora plus Nickelodeon at SCR. So it's all in one place. You can take the entire thread and just flush it in. Got it?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Good question. I like this. James, you told me you had smart people. You think they were super smart. These are really smart people. Good questions. Who else has got a question for me? Nobody else? Okay. Some people I think I've already lost. I've already confused some people. I'm trying to go slow. I see Mike nodding his head. Mike's like, I'm done. I'm out. Okay, let's go back to share screen. And by the way, we're only covering 10% of total brokerage today. There's 90% more for future trainings. This is just the first 10%.
Hey, Ben,
Yes, sir.
there is that section also that you can input your vendors, and if you email, you can put your vendors in here just like you got your contacts. And if you notice on view vendors down there, that's where you can put your relationships with your lenders and your home inspectors and your closing attorneys and things of that nature.
So
And it will
each
create that.
Yes, it
Go
will.
ahead.
James, absolutely right. Each one of you can load up your preferred vendors, okay? But let's say for argument's sake, James has Hamby Mortgage Corp, right? James has the ability to load Hamby Mortgage Corp as a vendor in all of your address books because he obviously has global access to drop Hamby Mortgage in there, which is a great idea because David Peak and Doreen have discovered this unbelievable home inspector. And a lot of you have been complaining, I don't like my home inspector, he kind of sucks. So David and Doreen say, hey, James, you should recommend this home inspector to the entire company. This guy is awesome. You can give that information to James and he can actually load it into his address book and then share it with all of you so that when you go into your address books in Total Brokerage, you all have this awesome home inspector that David and Noreen discovered. So that's kind of a cool feature. If James discovers that there's one slimeball, awful, horrible nightmare home inspector, he's going to send out an email to the company and say, hey guys, I took this person out of the address book because this guy sucks and he's ruining our transactions. I hope none of you use him. And I've purposely removed him out, which is really cool because some of you are newer agents and some of you need referrals. Who's got a good painter? Who's got a good handyman? I need a landscaper. James can take that information and share it globally. So before you ask him for a referral of a vendor, you can just click on that View Vendors button that I just shared with you that James brought up. And right here under View Vendors, you can see all the vendors that James likes that he's preloaded based on good experiences with them. So kind of a nice feature, okay? So we understand the email feature. SMS, same type of thing where you can SMS text in and out of here as well. Now we come to automations. Automations are drip campaigns. Some of you do not like staying in touch with your customers. Staying in touch is so important. So if you want to stay in touch with your customer, you can either do it manually, where you pick up the phone and call, text, or email them, or you can have the software help you by using one of our automations, automatic drip campaigns, okay? The options of drip campaigns that you can offer to Dora the Explorer are listed here. So you can select one and you can fire up that drip campaign so that automatic system generated emails are sent out to her. Now, I'm sure you're curious before you have the system send out emails, what is it sending out? What's it going to look like? What is she receiving? I don't want to send out something that I have no clue what it looks like. You can go right over here to marketing and look at all the automations that James has available to you. So automations tab for Dora the Explorer here under marketing has the same word automations that you see inside your CRM. Under the automations tab, you can actually shop through all these different automations and you could read whatever is there for you. Or if you want to create your own automations, which is always an awesome idea for those of you that A, speak foreign languages, B, are creative, C, are insightful, D, are really good at writing and copywriting, you can come right over here to the actions menu and create your own new automation. So if you work with investors, if you work with buyers, if you work with a lot of people like hunting and fishing, you can create your own drip campaigns that send out pertinent and interesting information to those people, and they're available to you. You have the choice to isolate and keep your drip campaigns only to yourself because you think they're so awesome you don't want to share them. Or if James says okay, he can actually share them with your permission, of course, with the rest of the office. So if Mike writes a drip campaign all about hunting in Georgia, and he says, hey, James, feel free to share this with the office, James can flip the switch and share this with all of you so you can use Mike's drip campaign that he put together. So you can collaborate. That's the goal, right? Mike's going to share with Deandra, Deandra's going to share with Cole, Cole's going to share with Tim, and the world goes around and everybody's happy. Or we can just live in our little bubbles, not share anything and be miserable, and that's fine too. I just kind of like the collaborative aspect. I think that's more fun. So back to our buddy Dora the Explorer over here. So we understand drip campaigns are available to us here under automations. We're not going to cover transactions today because that's going to be a whole separate class. That's where your purchase contracts and listing agreements are going to live. But we are going to talk about action plans. Action plans we started off earlier today back on the dashboard when we saw the daily to-do list. The daily to-do list is displaying the action plan that was selected. I want a seller action plan, a buyer action plan, an investor action plan, a lead generator action plan. When you fire up an action plan here in the CRM, whatever the results of that action plan are will be displayed here in your daily to-do list, right? So the action plan is your recipe, and the daily to-do list is whatever step in the recipe you are on. Okay, so all of your action plans can be found here under setup, and you can create your own action plans. Some of you are very organized. Some of you will learn to become organized, but all the action plans can be created here inside of your setup tab, where you can set up processes for yourself. If you want to be efficient, if you want to be effective, if you want to make this a little bit more mindless, so you don't have to panic every morning what you're supposed to do, you can use the action plan feature to take advantage of that. Back to Dora the Explorer. And the last thing I want to show you on the top page here is the history tab. So Dora gets married, right? She marries somebody named Hamburger, Bob Hamburger. So she's going to change her last name. Her new last name is Hamburger. Congratulations. And she also left Nickelodeon. She now works at Universal Studios. And she also recently moved houses, and she got a new phone number. So that's her cell phone number. We are going to add in her home phone as well. And that is going to be right there. So now we've changed her last name, we changed her email, and we gave her a phone number. Check this out under the History tab. The History tab shows you every single keystroke from cradle to grave when we started this file back at 2:29 p.m. all the way through now, which is 3:07 p.m. Ben Schachter added a phone number right here. Ben Schachter changed the email address right here. And Ben Schachter changed the last name right here. Well, what happens if she never took her husband's married name? My name isn't Hamburger. Why do you call me Hamburger? I never took his name. It's a horrible last name. My last name is The Explorer. Give me back my damn last name. You can scroll back to when you first created this file 45 minutes ago, and you can see that her last name was originally The Explorer. And you can see that she previously worked at Nickelodeon, because you can see her old email address, which is here as well. So you have a running archive of everything in this particular file, all under the History tab. Why do I make such a big deal of that? Because TotalBrokerage, it's not possible to erase anything. You can change whatever you want, but everything you change is stored in the History tab, which is super valuable, because if you make mistakes or if you forget something, just go back to the History tab and you can see what was there previously, and you can go back and reset it or correct it or do what you need. Any questions about the History tab? No? Okay. So now let's talk about bulk email. We understand that we can send one email at a time, but what if I want to send 500 emails at a time? Very simple. Share screen, back into TotalBrokerage over here. I'm going to go to View Contacts, okay? I want to email my entire address book. Now, this is kind of a weak account because I only have 5 people in my address book, but let's just pretend I had 500 people in my address book. All I did is I pushed View Contacts. It shows me my entire address book. On the far right-hand side, there's a button that says Actions. Under the Actions button, I can click Send Email right there. This is now going to gather those 5 customers and their 5 email addresses. And the subject matter is going to be, I am expecting my college kids to come home this weekend for the holiday. Dear, check this out, insert customer contact, first name. Oh my God, that is so cool. 5 separate emails, and each one is going to be individually personalized to the recipient. That is awesome. What do you suggest would be a fun and safe family activity for me, my wife, and our 2 college kids home for the week? They don't love amusement parks or movies. Any other thoughts? Thanks, Ben. There's typos, spelling errors. Let's not worry about that. Don't judge me. And I push send. So what's going to happen now? 5 separate emails are going to go out to my entire address book. Every one is going to be personalized. Why did I give you this stupid email about having kids home from college and movies and amusement parks? Ladies and gentlemen, this is the epitome of using a CRM, customer relationship. Say it with me, relationship management. It's not customer advertising management. I don't care about your new listing. I'm not, thank you, John, for playing along. I appreciate it. I don't care about your new listing. If I wanted to see your listing, I'd call you and you'd sell me a house. I'm not in the market. I don't care. Stop annoying me. I'm going to defriend you on Facebook. All you do is say, I got a listing. I got a price reduction. I have an open house. You're not a good friend. Relationship management. The purpose of a CRM is to stimulate ongoing relationships and grow and flourish those relationships. So when you ask open-ended questions that don't pertain to, do you know somebody who wants to see my new 3-bedroom, 2-bath townhouse villa that I have in downtown Buckhead? No, I don't know anyone that wants that. I don't care. Stop asking me. But if you stimulate with conversations using a CRM, you engage in conversation. When you engage in conversation, you further solidify the relationship. When you further solidify the relationship, boom, the light bulb goes off and people start to think of you more seriously the next time they or someone they know wants to do real estate business. So can you drive your customers crazy with email all about your listings and your open houses? Sure, you can do that if you want to. But the goal here is to use a CRM to have ongoing discussions. Hey, I'm looking to take my wife to a bed and breakfast this weekend, a little weekend away, something romantic. Anyone have any suggestions? Nice open-ended questions. Hey, a new Greek restaurant just opened on the west side of town. I love Greek food. If you guys want the name and number, here it is. What's your favorite Greek restaurant? Hey, so-and-so just traded so-and-so on the football team. What do you think about that? You think it was a good trade? Do you think it was a bad move? Are we going to need him in a starting position or not? Relationship management, not long diatribe. No one's reading your personal journal or Bible. They're not interested. Just ways to stimulate conversation. Now, with our CRM, when you're using it, if you use the feature where you can customize and import fixed fields, insert customer contact, last name, dear Mr. and Mrs., make it a little bit more formal, right? You've got all these different features here that you can utilize for the person if you wish. I am updating my records. Is your phone number still? Insert customer contact phone number, right? You can use this as a way to play on the conversation thread to stimulate discussion. And some of you will say, well, Ben, that's ridiculous because I don't want to get 500 responses because then I feel obligated over my head to deal with all these people and respond. Well, let me ask you a question. Out of your last 5 houses that you've sold, were they all friends and family, or were they people you had to advertise and solicit to go find by buying leads? Because if you answer me that you had to buy leads, that sucks. You should have your last 5 houses, 4.7 of them should be friends and family, people in your sphere of influence, your network, people that were referred to you, because you are likable, because you're friendly, because you're engaging. That's where the CRM has value. Now, do you have to just email the entire address book at one time? Absolutely not. What if I only want to email just my commercial customers? Because I just listed this wonderful gas station for $3.6 million. Trust me, your veterans and your first-time home buyers and your FHA qualified people have no interest in your $3.6 million gas station listing. They could care less. And in fact, it could backfire. Not only do they not care, they might stop considering you to buy a house with because they might think you only focus on $3 million commercial buyers, not some crappy little townhouse for $110,000. So they may actually discontinue communicating with you. CRM, view contacts. I do not want to email my whole address book. I want to only add commercial people. Advanced search. Advanced search. Let's find people that equal or don't equal or contain or don't contain, just like the MLS, a tag called commercial. And now I can search just for my commercial customers and it will display the list of just the people that are flagged in my address book as commercial. Or I can look for people whose last name starts with, whose first name starts with the letter B, and I can find all my customers whose first name starts with the letter B. It gives you the ability to isolate people and to put them into buckets. As James noticed, I am a University of Florida graduate. I have to know my audience. Do you want me rubbing salt in the wounds as to how much better the Gators are than the Bulldogs? Would I have a nice relationship with you if I did that? Would you like me to send out an obnoxious announcement every Saturday that the Gators beat the Bulldogs and every time the Gators win and the Bulldogs lose? Now, I have a friend list of people who are Gator fans. I have a friend list of volunteers, a friend list of Bulldogs, a friend list of Lions and Tigers and Bears. Oh my, I've got them all. As I see the different sports teams do well, I send out congratulatory messages accordingly to the people that will respond. Because I can assure you, if I know my Georgia Bulldog fans, who I'm friends with a lot of them, and I keep bragging about the Gators, they're going to hate my guts. Think about your audience. If somebody, God forbid, lost a child, do you think they're interested in hearing about all your fun activities with your kids? I don't think so. If you find somebody who you know is highly allergic to spices, do you think they want to hear about that awesome new Indian restaurant with great curry and hot spicy food that you just discovered? I almost died from spicy food once. I was hospitalized for 2 weeks, almost in a coma. And that's what you're obnoxious enough to tell me about? So you can use the CRM to isolate and categorize your customers. This is a very important tool. I can't stress it enough. 20 years ago, not everybody had high-speed internet. 15 years ago, not everybody had internet in their house. 10 years ago, not everybody had a smartphone. 5 years ago, not everybody had a scanner. Last year, not everybody had smart houses, Amazon, Siri, Alexa, the works. Guess what's going to happen in 2 to 4 years from now? Everyone who said, I don't use a CRM, I don't get it, I don't understand it, I've never used it, those people are going to no longer be your competitors. They're no longer going to be in this business. They're gone. They're out. They're not dinosaurs. They're extinct twice over. The CRM is the next piece of technology that you are so lucky James is having you embrace now, because if you don't embrace it today, come the year 2023, 2024, you will have a different career or you will be retired. I assure you, just like a smartphone, just like high-speed internet, just like a scanner, just like Wi-Fi. You have no choice. There's certain things, part of the technological evolutionary plane, that come along and are just necessary tools in order to survive. This is not to excel, this is to survive. If 95% of our customers come from relationships that were cultivated from our sphere of influence, then how could we worry so much about the extra lipstick we have on our tooth in our headshot that makes our business cards look crappy? And I'm not going to send out those postcards because I have lipstick on my tooth, but not be focused on our CRM of building our network, building our database, and expanding our contact list. That's what you focus on, because that's where the real money is in our business. People do not buy houses from Zillow. They do not buy pieces of houses from Realtor.com. They buy houses from human beings. All of you are human, and you can exemplify humanity by establishing stronger relationships, by communicating much more frequently with your spheres of influence. You will double, triple, or quadruple your income by doing so. So hopefully you found that helpful. Boy, James, your agents love you. They're writing all this fun stuff in the chat log. You're not going to be able to get your hat on. Your head's going to be too big. We love you. There's no extra fees. James is the best. Yay. You should read what they're writing. I'm gloating for you. They write really nice stuff about you. I'm still trying to get over the fact that someone could, oh, thank you, Beth. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Questions?
Yes.
No, yes, Tim Payne. Go ahead, Tim.
Like I said, I was a little bit late getting in, so I missed the first part. As far as login, do we have a password now?
No, sir.
Okay.
You're going to go to scr.totalbrokerage.com. Right. You are going to go to the login page, and on the bottom, you're going to click where it says, I forgot my password. You're going to click the I forgot my password page. It's going to ask you for your email address, Tim. The email address you're going to use is whatever email address James Hamby has on file for you. So whenever James emails you, that's the email address you use. Push your email address in that box, push submit, and then we'll reset your password. You only have 5 minutes to activate the link once it comes to you. So make sure you're by your email and you check it quickly. You can't go 3 hours later and check your email. It's got to be done immediately.
Okay. And I know it's fine, but when I went to the page, I'm getting a lot of suspicious activity.
Because
From
you're putting www before it. Please clean out your address bar. Make sure there's nothing at all on your address bar. It's totally empty. And type in SCR
Just SCR on.
at TotalBrokerage.com. And we did record this, so you'll be able to catch up on the first few minutes that you missed. James is going to send out the video for you.
Thank you.
Okay. Other
I got
questions?
a question.
David Peak, is that you?
Yes. On that automation button for the drip, is that tied to the MLS? Because when a drip program is where you send properties everyone, well, it automatically sends properties of interest to people. I mean, that's a very important thing.
Yes, it's not part of your MLS drip. You can still drip on properties from your MLS. That is totally fine. This is to drip communications of other sorts. Maybe you want to give them home buying tips. Maybe you want to give them tips on cleaning up their credit. Maybe you want to give them tips on negotiating. Maybe you want to give them tips on cheap ways to fix up your house to add value to it. This is informational tips. This is not the MLS strips. The MLS strips, which are absolutely important, I don't disagree. This is a different type of content. You can create a newsletter and do David Peak's Real Estate 101 newsletter and send it out that way. You can send out David Peak's favorite listings of the month, and they may not be specific to the agents that have signed up, to have certain properties emailed out, but maybe you're just sending out select properties that you choose. So it's a manually controlled process.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe some of the people here are going to use recipe cards. Some of you are going to send out my favorite recipe of the month, right? Got that? Does that answer your question, David?
Yeah, it's just different. I mean, but like my father uses the drip program for people that he may have talked to a year ago, and he's just pounding them with different listings and stuff, and they call him back every year and want to buy something. So I was just wondering if there was a connection there with that.
No, that drip would come right from your local MLS where you can drip out properties. Okay.
Okay.
I saw somebody else with a hand up. Is that Aunt Kelly? Hi, Kelly. What's up? I think you're muted, Kelly. I can't hear you. Or do you not have a microphone, Kelly? Can't hear your voice. Can anyone else hear Kelly or no? Nobody can hear you, Kelly.
Can you hear me?
Now we can hear you. Hi, Kelly.
Yay. So I noticed a couple things. Since we're on automations, when you go into automations and you show the names of all the automations, they're not highlighted where you can click them and see what it says.
Let me go over there for you. Give me one sec, Kelly, okay? So you're saying you can't see the content in the automation? Is that what you're saying?
No, mine are not hyperlinked. They're just black. You can't click on them.
So it's possible there may not be content up there yet. Let's just take a quick look. Marketing, automations. You can see my screen, right, Kelly?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Let's see the steps. Okay, you see the right-hand side, you can click the steps.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that? What I just did? So you see they're black here. Here, click on steps on the right-hand side. Mm-hmm. You can open them up. Got it?
Gotcha. Okay.
That help you?
Yep. And then I have one more.
Please.
For the vendors, can we not create a vendor type like home warranty company or pest control company? They only have like agent, appraiser, and contractor.
You can't create a type, but James and the management team can.
Okay.
So I know they're working on a part of the setup. If you have any off the top of your head, like home warranty that you want to add in, let them know they can make that a category. Okay. And by the way, while you're at it, if you have one warranty company that you're in love with, let James know so he can choose to share it or not with the rest of the company.
Okay.
So that's such a time-saving feature. Good questions, Kelly. Anything else?
Nope.
Thank you, Kelly. Anybody else? Okay. So we've covered a lot of ground, and I know some of you were terrified and totally freaked out and nervous because it's technology. Let me explain. Doctors do not go to medical school and perform surgery on live humans. They practice on plastic rubber dolls, and then when they get really good with plastic rubber dolls, then they go to dead humans, and then when they get really good on dead humans, then they go to live humans. Do not practice on a live human. Practice on a rubber doll. Dora the Explorer, Donald Duck, Mickey Mouse, Cinderella, I don't care. If you love your dog and you want to use your dog or your cat, use them. Go into the CRM and try creating a contact and spend 20 minutes and fill in every single field. Don't skip anything. Get familiar with it because I want you to see how much content is there. Now, after you spend 20 minutes going through and loading in a fake dummy plastic contact, you're going to say, this is cool, but I want to take all my contacts out of my iPhone or out of my Android, and I want to zip them right into Total Brokerage. I don't want to manually type everybody in for 20 minutes. That's a horrible use of time. And you're right. There is a one-step process to import all of your existing contacts that you already have in your phone or in your Outlook or in your top producer. Some of you have your contacts saved in your local MLS, where one of our gentlemen over here just asked about the MLS drip campaigns. You might already have your contacts there. So let me show you how to import all your contacts right away. Under the CRM, under View Contacts, under Add a Single Contact, under the vendors, there is this magic button that says Import, where you can import all your contacts. Click on Import. When you click on Import, it's going to say, read this disclaimer. Do you understand you're uploading your contacts to the web? And you're going to say, yes, I understand. And when you do, you're going to determine, Kelly, if you want to upload vendors or contacts. And you can upload them all in a big batch. You can upload 2,000 contacts at a time. Most of you probably don't have anywhere near 2,000 contacts in your phone. The software will import 2,000 the click of a mouse. You click on your contacts and it says you can drag and drop a CSV file or click the upload button. CSV, totally unimportant, means nothing, stands for comma separated value. You can drag and drop a CSV file or click the upload button. So what this is telling you is you have to have your contacts in a CSV format. And now you're going to say, damn it, Ben, I'm not a computer scientist. What the hell is a CSV file? It's really simple. Let me show you. You're going to go out to YouTube. Are you ready? Check it out. It's amazing. YouTube. And you're going to type in the search bar, how do I make my iPhone contacts into a CSV file? And magically, it's going to give you a 3-minute, a 54-second, an 8-minute, a 19-minute, or a 4-minute video of how to convert all of your iPhone contacts into a CSV file so that you can upload them all at once. You can do the same thing with Android. Turn my Android contacts into a CSV file. And here you go. 1:29, 6 minutes, 50 seconds, 4 minutes, 6 minutes, and so on and so forth. So go right out to YouTube and it will show you how to export from your iPhone or your Android or your Outlook or your top producer or your MailChimp or your Constant Contact, your customers in a CSV file. Now, when you import your customers, I told you you could do up to 2,000 at a time. Let's be clear on something. We want to make sure that the fields are properly aligned. You're not going to be happy if all the social security numbers go in the spot where the area codes are supposed to be. You're not going to be happy if all the first names go in the street address line. It's going to stink. So we are going to give you a spreadsheet, which is a CSV file, that shows you exactly the column and the order to put them in, so that before you click upload, you can make sure that your list of CSV contacts is properly configured, right? When you're making a recipe, you know you need sugar and flour and water, but it does matter how much sugar, how much flour, how much water. You can't just guess and put in any amount of sugar, flour, and water. It's got to be the right amount or the end product is not going to taste very good. Same thing. You go to YouTube, you learn how to export from your iPhone or Android to do that. Then before you upload, we want to make sure all your columns are properly uploaded. Now, one of the great questions we had yesterday is, hey, Ben, I like that tagging feature where I can label people as hunting, as fishing, as Georgia Bulldog fans, as school teachers, what have you. Can I pre-tag my contacts before I upload them? And the answer is absolutely. You can label all your customers so when they import into Total Brokerage from that spreadsheet, they are already pre-labeled. It's much easier to pre-label them before you import them as opposed to importing 500 names and number and then having to go back and look at 500 different records and then manually start labeling them. If you know that out of your 500 people, 75 people are Georgia Bulldog fans, 125 people like fishing, 291 people like camping, 16 people are retired school teachers, and 38 people are retired police officers, then you're much better off putting those groups together in the spreadsheet first before you import them so they all get paired up properly in Total Brokerage versus uploading 500 people and then having to look at every file and then manually linking them all together, which is going to be a lot of wasted time. Some of you are going to make mistakes. That's okay, because you're going to call my office and ask for help. We have 7-day per week support. 7 days a week we offer help. Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. You're going to be able to reach us on the telephone, okay? You can reach us on the telephone by dialing 561-766-0409, 561-766-0409, or you're going to go to our website, which is TotalBrokerage.com. That is not where you log into Southern Classic. That is our website. And when you go to TotalBrokerage.com, you are going to see a chat feature. You can instant message chat with us at TotalBrokerage.com. Right here, it says contact. And on the contact page, you can get help right now. See on the bottom of the page, there's a widget that pops up that says, thanks for checking with us. You can get instant help. We answer email and we answer chats from 7 in the morning till 7 at night. So 9 to 5, you get us on the phone. From 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., you can chat with us, instant message, or via email, okay? Next thing I want to show you is no matter where you are in Total Brokerage, on every single page, there is a question mark on the top of the page next to your name. That is our Help Resource button. You click the Help Resource button right there, and you will find searchable, indexable articles that we've written for you to give you quick information to get help. So you've got 3 different ways to get help. You can call us Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. You can email us or instant message to us or chat with us 7 to 7, or you can click that question mark button that I just showed you right here, and you can search the pre-written articles that give you help information. Okay? Any questions that I can answer? I see Beth's hand up. Yes, ma'am, Beth.
So if we can import through our cell phones, can we import from our like Gmail or whatever accounts just the same way?
You would just go to YouTube, and from YouTube, Beth, you would type, how do I turn my Gmail contacts into a CSV?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So just be careful. You just said a moment ago, I can import from my phone. You're not actually going to do the import from your phone. What you're going to do is you're going to plug your iPhone into your laptop or your computer. You're going to download all your contacts from the iPhone to your laptop. Then from there, as you'll see on the video, you will convert it to a CSV file and then upload it to Total Brokerage. So it goes from the iPhone to the computer up to Total Brokerage. It does not go from the iPhone to Total Brokerage because there's no way to connect them. Okay? Other questions? So I hope that I get to see all of you back here next week, because we're going to cover transaction management, purchase contracts, listing agreements, financial management, e-signing of documents. The training is a lot. You guys are doing great. You asked me wonderful questions. We are here to help you, but please, please, please do yourself a favor while this is fresh in your mind. Hopefully today, if not tomorrow, create a dummy contract for a dummy contact for yourself, like Cinderella or Bambi or whatever, and fill in all the fields and get comfortable with it. Start playing with it before you actually process it with a real customer. Okay? I want to thank you all for your time. If there's any last minute questions, now's the last chance to grab me. Otherwise, I will see you all next week for transaction management training. I've really enjoyed my time with you today. Thank you for being so patient and great questions and participating. James, thank you for giving me a second great group after yesterday. I didn't know if you could raise the bar. You raised the bar. You did it again. All right, everybody. Thanks again. Take care. Nice to see everyone. Bye now.